guys, I feel like I haven't seen y'all in forever. I pre-filmed so many of my videos. Probably my last 3 videos I pre-filmed because I just got back from vacation. So it's taken me a little bit to get used to this seat and this camera, but it's quickly coming back. And I'm just so excited to be back in my normal routine and my normal scheduling, and just I'm excited to be back. So the first video I am filming back is something that I had a lot of requests from on a recent haul that I did, and it is reviewing the new Josie Maran Vibrancy Argan Oil Foundation. I kind of didn't know whether or not I was going to review this because I feel like everywhere you turn there's someone reviewing it. But I did have a lot of requests on that video, and Jaclyn Hill put up a video, which I'm sure everybody that's watching my videos so most certainly watches hers, about her summer foundation routine, and she used this foundation. And then Kathleen Lights posted a video about her disappointing beauty products, and this foundation was in it. So people were very conflicted, and I love reading comments of videos, and I was reading all the comments, and they were saying, well, I don't know, Jaclyn Hill used it and she loves it, but you don't love it. I'm confused. I don't know who to believe. First of all, you got to make your own decision on the foundations. Like, my skin is not your skin. Jaclyn Hill's skin is not your skin. We are all made differently. Praise Jesus, because I mean, this world would be really boring if we were all the same. But our skin is all made differently, and you can't say it worked great for her, she has my same skin type, and know that it's going to work for you, because both Jaclyn and Kathleen have dry skin. So you have to go. I really just so strongly recommend y'all going and getting a sample of any foundation that you want to try before you try it, unless you're totally fine with returning products, because everybody is different. But I digress. Let's talk about the actual foundation. It comes in 14 shades. It is an argan oil based foundation. However, it is strong in silicones. It has a lot of dimethicone. In fact, it has at least a couple of silicones before it even comes to the argan oil part of the foundation. But I think the whole point is just to tell you this is very nourishing. It's very radiant. Again, it comes in 14 shades. Currently on Sephora.com, they are out of probably 10 of those shades, which I honestly can only attribute to the fact that Jaclyn Hill used it in her video. I feel like every time she talks about something, it's gone. But I do know that QVC is having a today special value on August 13th, I believe, of Josie Maran, and this foundation is included. It's this foundation, the brush, her argan milk moisture hydration serum type stuff, and then her argan oil. That is by far going to be the best value for this foundation. So if you're wanting to try it but you can wait a couple weeks, I might check that out. Also, if you can't find your shade on Sephora. It claims to be medium to full coverage with 100% argan oil for glowing, radiant skin. I think this is interesting. I'm looking on Sephora right now, and it says Vibrancy energizes your skin with the essential nutrients it craves and is designed to interact and adapt to the movements of your skin with delicate fluidity for a radiant dimensional finish. That's a pretty strong claim, and can't say I actually understand it completely, but it sounds cool anyways. I got the color Adventurous G55, which is medium, for medium skin tones with a yellow to golden undertone. You do get 1 ounce of foundation for $45. Again, that QVC TSV I think is you may even be able to shop it now. I don't know for sure, but I think that it's $54, which is only $10 more and you get 3 more products. So you cannot beat that. If you have more patience than I do, I would wait for that for sure. So if you are interested to see how this foundation works on my skin, which is normal to right now a tad dry because I just got off the airplane, please keep on watching. Okay, so today I'm going in with the YSL Touche Eclat Blur Primer. The Josie Maran foundation is a silicone-based foundation. There is a silicone, I think is the 4th ingredient, dimethicone, and then there's another silicone before it gets to the actual argan oil. So that means it is technically a silicone foundation with oil in it. This primer is a silicone primer, but it also has a lot of different oils in it. So I find that they work the best together, but I have used it with other primers and it's worked fine. But for today, I'm going to use the YSL one. So just take a couple pumps, prime my face. I feel like it's maybe even still a little light for me. So we're not going to go base this review off the color, okay? We're just going to review it based off of the performance and longevity. So I'm just going to shake this up real well because it does say on the bottom, shake well. And I take about 2 pumps. So it's just like that on the back of my hand. And I am going to use a beauty blender for this. I've seen many reviews do it with a brush. I personally just don't like a brush on my skin. I've yet to find one that I really like. So I'm just going to dot that on half of my face so I can show you the difference. See, it just looks a little light. And I have no idea what it's coming across on camera. But I'm just going to pat that in like I do every other foundation. It blends in, got hair, really easily. Like, and it's, to me, right off the bat, it's medium to full coverage. Definitely buildable to full coverage. I always have a little bit of redness here on both cheeks that need to be covered more. But in all honesty, like, I could go with that layer and be fine because once I put concealer on, it will cover up that redness. I probably will end up putting a little bit more because I can just see some of my redness. I'm just going to put just a dot more right on top of where my redness is. Okay, so you can see on this side of my face, it is a very natural glow. To me, it is not an in-your-face, like, dewy, look at me, I kind of look like I might be sweating a little too much or I might be producing way too much oil. It doesn't look like that to me. Now on this side of my face, I mean, I do have that, I don't know where that came from, but we're going to see how well it covers that up. And then this side. So it just evens out all your skin tone. It is full coverage, medium to full coverage. I put that little bit of extra on top of my redness and it covered it perfectly. So it covered up that pretty well. I'm just going to take a little bit extra over those spots. Again, that is with any foundation that I do that with. I'm just going to take it down my neck. This does not claim to be like a pore. It doesn't claim to like erase your pores. And it doesn't erase my pores by any means, but it doesn't accentuate them either, which to me, a lot of the like dewy foundations, radiant foundations can tend to accentuate areas that you don't want to be accentuated. And I don't feel that way with this foundation. I do want to point out that it can cake up very fast. So when you have the coverage you want, stop. Do not add any more because it will become cakey and you will start to not like it. Those 2 pumps were way more than enough. I still have a little bit left on my hand. And I want to stop. Like, there's maybe a little bit more I could put right here, but I don't want to because I feel like if I do, it is going to cake up and that it's a line you don't want to cross. So that's one of the cons I could say about this foundation, is that you do have to be careful with it. You have to learn. There's a little bit of a learning curve. You do have to become aware of what is my exact right amount, because if you do cross that line, it will become cakey. And that's a lot of the complaints that I've heard from reviewers and reviews that I've read on Sephora, is that it's a cakey mess. It can be, but so can the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and look at how much everybody loves that. So you just have to learn how to apply it and what's the best for your skin. So I'm gonna go finish my makeup and I'll be right. So I finished the rest of my makeup. I want to talk about the, I don't really know what to call it. I guess the drying consistency of this foundation. A lot of luminous radiant foundations will stay tacky on your skin, which, I mean, some people don't mind, especially if you have dry skin, but if you're putting products on top of it that you're trying to blend out before you set the foundation, i.e. cream highlight, cream bronzer, stuff like that, it's going to move the foundation if it hasn't set, which, I mean, no one wants. So I'm a big proponent of cream bronzer. You know this if you've watched my channel for any length of time. I do not use a cream highlight with this foundation because I don't think I need it. But I will say that it dries perfectly. It does not dry too fast, but it doesn't stay so tacky that I can't, you know, blend out other products on top of it without compromising the foundation underneath. I used my normal powder. I'll put everything below. I'm having a really bad under eye day, but again, when I get back from off a plane, that's like inevitable. But that has nothing to do with foundation. I'm just letting you know that. Judge my under eyes. But you can see I did use a cream bronzer. I did not use a cream highlight. I did use a powder one because, come on, I'm not going to not use a highlight. But everything blended over it perfectly. It's just, I don't know, it's seamless to me. It's so seamless. So I'm getting a little bit of a late start today. It is currently 11:58. I am going to get out. It's supposed to be like 99 degrees and it's Tennessee, so it'll be 150% humidity. I'm also working out this afternoon, so you'll be able to see how it holds up throughout a workout. I'm only going to touch base one more time at the end of the night to show you how it wears throughout the day, since it is kind of a late start, but I will see you then. All right, so it's currently 8 o'clock. I do not have my phone, so I can't verify that, but you're just gonna have to trust me. I have had this foundation on now since the very beginning for about 8.5 hours. I've not done a single thing to my face. I'm going to look up close in the mirror and see if there's anything I want to touch on. My concealer is not staying. That I know for a fact. Looks awful. Okay. As far as the foundation is concerned, you can tell it is glowier on my skin than it was when I first finished my makeup and set the foundation. I'm going to do a close-up, but my pores are a little bit more accentuated. I mean, I don't think it's anything that's like, oh my heavens, your pores look awful. It's really no different than any other foundation. However, I feel like if I would have used a separate pore filler, maybe that would have helped some. But it's still, like, if I didn't have the option of using a pore filler, it wouldn't change my thoughts on this foundation. It has broken up just a little bit on my upper lip. My upper lip, my nose, and my chin is where my foundation breaks down the most for me. It's not enough, really not enough for me to be worried about. I don't think that you're going to get like a solid 12 to 16 hours out of this foundation that I've gotten out of some of my foundations. I don't think it's that long lasting. However, after 8 hours and really hot heat and an intense workout, I'm happy with the longevity of this foundation. I feel like if I wasn't going so hard, or if it was the winter, if I wasn't working out, it's going to last even longer. I just don't think it's like my Shiseido, my Synchro Skin Lasting Foundation. It's not going to last like that, but it's nothing like that because it is so glowy. It has not patched off anywhere. It's held onto my other products nicely, I think. It has not sunk into my smile lines. I've not once had to touch that up. And another thing that, maybe hit or miss for some people is that it does transfer. Now, the only reason I know that is from when I blot my sweat off. I can see it on the paper towel. I don't like wipe my face on my arm or, hug people so much during the day that I have to worry about my foundation transferring. So I personally, that's not a big deal to me to have a foundation that transfers because I don't ever really have to face that. Does that make sense? I don't know. It does transfer though. Be aware. Okay, so I don't even know if it's enough to come across on camera, but my pores are a little bit accentuated. It is rubbed off on the tip of my nose, my upper lip, and just a tad on my chin. But really and honestly, like in my viewfinder, I'm not seeing that right now. So I don't even know if it's going to come across on camera. It's very subtle, but it still is intact everywhere else. And like I said, my bronzer, my blush, my highlight stayed on great with it. Overall, I really like the finish after 8 hours. So as an end of like my final thoughts, I think everyone knew going into this because of my haul video that I love this foundation. I do love this foundation. Again, I don't think it's the longest lasting ever. If you have like super dry skin, it might last longer. I don't know that I would personally recommend this to anyone who has extremely oily skin. I have heard people say that they have oily skin and they love it. I just don't have oily skin, and I've not used it on a client that has oily skin, so I can't say for me that I would recommend it. That's, again, just something, if you have oily skin, that you're going to have to determine for yourself. But if you have normal to dry skin and you want something that, in my opinion, I feel like I look younger when I wear this foundation. I don't know if it's like the radiance of it or just the overall look. I don't know. I just feel like I look younger. And really and honestly, who doesn't want to look younger? I just noticed I have my rubber wedding band on. I wear that when I work out. Totally random. It's late for me. I'm really tired. Yeah, so I don't know if I left anything out. I'm sure I did. And if I did, please ask in the comments. I'd be happy to address that. I hope this helps some of you. Again, I just highly recommend you getting a sample of any and everything you possibly can that you want to try at Sephora or Nordstrom. They're so good about giving samples at both of those places. And don't forget about the QVC TSV coming up on, I believe it's August 13th. And get your hands on this for like a really cheap price considering what you get in this set. So again, I hope this helped. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got my favorites coming up. I've got a review of the Urban Decay All Nighter foundation coming up. I've got lots of fun stuff coming up. So be sure and subscribe if you haven't. As always, thank you for watching and have a very blessed day.